to K3, and this is our weekly watches where we watch as many K-dramas as humanly possible in a given week, come back to you and report we're liking, loving, and dropping, and now we have added our top 3 moments of the week. Very exciting. Join us. So it was a big week, right? Like there was a lot happening. Like I felt like I had so many dramas this week.
So many dramas because we had Extracurricular, which was like all 10 episodes.
True. That was a huge binge. We had to get through it. I will say, as much as people complain about Netflix, the fact that they drop them all at once and they're only 45 to 50 minutes does make a binge much easier. It makes it much shorter, which disappoints me a lot, but it made a 10 episode binge much easier.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite time of the week is still Monday, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's start with Monday, Tuesday. All right. Born Again. You hot mess of a show. I can't quit you. I can't. It makes 0 sense. I can't even track with what the reincarnation story is anymore. Did they survive the mountain? Did they not survive the mountain? Did one of them survive the mountain and then get executed for murdering?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So you're still, it's off the wall, crazy all over the place, but you're enjoying that?
I am. And I couldn't even tell you why. I think it's a combination. I think it really has to do with our 2 male leads. They are so easy to watch. And Jung Ki-young does crazy like nobody does crazy. Like when he just looks at like when he's looking at the picture of the remains of the baby and he got that weird like little smile on his face and just I was like, oh, I know he did like the Crazy in My Mister that I haven't watched, but man, boy can play some wacky, right? Like he's not your straight romantic lead, and I kind of dig that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you've got Lee Soo-hyuk, and he's also got that kind of like edge to him.
Yeah, he does.
I can't stop watching the 2 of them together. She can just go away because this week was another week where I was just like, I don't get it. It's like I get it, but I don't get it.
That's the thing. I think I've hit a wall with this show because she's in it a lot.
Yeah.
And I just, the enjoyability factor of the unbelievable storyline, it's just, I'm sorry, but when she's on screen, I'm just not enjoying watching her in this show. And as much as I love seeing the 2 guys together, I don't know if it's enough to make me tune in again.
Oh, I totally understand that. And I am stunned that I'm still like, yeah, why not? All right, sure. Like, I clearly am just that simple of a creature when you give me 2 male leads that I'm like, sure. And come on. If you're going to keep giving me fan service of him being a free diver, like, please, come on now. Like, it's stretching and like just looking all broody and shit with half a wetsuit on. Like, I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, what is going on? Like, I literally wrote in my notes, oh, okay. Oh, I wasn't ready for that at all. Like, who did the shower scene when you're lounging around in a wetsuit, half on, half off? Like, please.
But he looks amazing clothes. Also, his suits are that's like a good thing. When you have 2 male models like starring in a show, then the wardrobe is amazing. I don't know who's providing the suits, but
it's completely nuts. When he was at his murder board at the end of the second week with the white shirt and the vest and like open, I was like, oh, goodness show. Huh. And maybe that's just a highlight for me every week. Like that's where I just get my little eye candy for the week. Story be damned. The story makes no sense. Like who is Kim Soo-hyuk's fiance's mother? I thought it was the writer. It's not the writer, but why are they in a car together, like traveling together?
And she calls her mom.
And she calls her mom. And then all of a sudden mom shows up. Like, how many mothers does this woman have? And then Ooh,
And then
his-
Jenki Young's family. Oh my God.
Yeah, like that is just a freaking hot mess. Like the brother, and then I was confused with the little brother being just a little shit. Like, is he just a little shit or is he wackadoodle? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, we have so many reincarnation ideas happening that I'm like, you're reincarnated and you're reincarnated and you're who are you? And it's ridiculous. Like, I just don't even know what to do anymore with it.
I have to say, I almost turned it off when Jenki Young was like throwing those bottles on the ground in his apartment with her. And I was just like, I think I might have hit. Yeah. I think I might have hit like up to here.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And here's the other part with that, which just makes no sense to me whatsoever, is who does she think she is that she's just going to go strolling into his apartment and
with his
like,
younger brother? Like,
how dare you treat him like what is happening right now? Like, you barely know him. If anything, he's your TA. Like, what is happening right now? Yeah, the show makes no sense. It makes no sense. I am not trying to say that it's a good show. I'm simply saying it's a hot mess that I oddly just like enjoy visually. Just really all it is. Like, seriously, I literally have pages of notes because I'm just like, what do we just like, what, like, and then like the fact that she got a heart transplant from a death row and she always is talking to it.
Well, that's the other,
like, what? This man murdered people. He was a serial killer. And you're like, hey, little serial killer, is your little heart going pitter pat? Because like, what's happening right now? Like, I don't understand.
There's always so much physical, like clutching of the heart, or like you see that's like clutching of his brain, you know, because it hurt. It's like I just I don't know if those guys are enough.
Yeah, totally understand that. I couldn't even explain to you why they are for me. I may be over with it, but next thing I might be like, and I'm done. But right now, so far, I'm like, let's do it. Let's go. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Yeah. It still brings me joy. I don't understand, but it does. And this, when we get to the end of the week, it's, how do I say this? It's one of those weird things about K-dramas. Like, why is it that I'm like willing to forgive Born Again all of its fucking hot mess shit? But like The King, I'm like, I don't fucking get it. And like, like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? What is it about one drama for some of us that we're like, totally, whatever, let's wash over me. And other fans are like, no, I'm done. Like, it's over.
I don't know.
Like, what is that?
I don't know. Because so often there, I guess, there's multiple levels of like ridiculousness and what you'll accept and what you won't. And, you know, I have no answer for you. Maybe the psychiatrist, soul mechanics can explain our K-drama viewing habits.
It makes no sense. I mean, with two other male lead actors, I probably would have dropped this in a heartbeat. We did drop Kill It. I dropped Kill It after what, like 10 episodes? Because I was like, this story is just a fucking train wreck. And I loved, who was it? It was Nara. It was Nana and Junkie Young. I love the story up until like episode 10, and I was like, this just makes no sense. And I had to drop it. But right now,
I don't know.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I just need to get to episode 10 and then I'll be like, all right, I'm done. That's enough.
Could be. Enough. You can take it for a little while until you can't.
You can't. And maybe that's just the beauty of it all. All right. But one that I am loving so much, right, Marisa? Oh my God, it's so freaking fun. Good casting is just a pile of freaking fun. If our team leader is dead, I'm gonna riot though.
Oh, no way.
He can't be dead, right? We can't be avenging two different people, can we?
I can't imagine. I know. And he's such a big star that I can't believe they would kill him off in episode, what was that?
Yeah.
Episode
3 and 4. Episode, 3 and 4. So it was only, And he's listed as all right, I just read my notes. He's not dead. He's one of our lead main roles. Main roles don't die in episode 4. Maybe episode 14, but not in episode 4. The show's amazing. Lee Sung-hyuk is adorable. When he busted out his little red backpack song. Oh,
I know.
Oh my God, I loved him so much.
I know. And then he gave her that little penguin.
Oh my God.
She's like, oh, it's so cute.
I'm not going to lie. At first I was kind of like, is this I liked them both separately. I wasn't sure that they together were gonna work for me from a relationship. Love it, fucking love it. It's so adorable, and they're a great. And his Lee Sung-yeop's assistant, just looking at him like, "Are you a lunatic? Like, what is happening right now?" Is probably one of my favorite things in every show.
He's like, "You're making me run errands for her,"
right? Like, but yeah, he's looking at him like, "You're so gross. You're embarrassing me. I have secondhand embarrassment so bad right now. It's so amazing."
Well, I'm just glad he's not Michael, the bad guy. Assuming that actually plays out for 16 episodes, that it's not him. But I was really glad that it wasn't.
Lee Sung-yeop?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way he's going to be Michael.
He could have been. He could have been. He was the bad. What show was he in with Susie? And While You Were Sleeping, he was the bad guy. Yeah, but I don't know.
He wasn't the romantic lead in While You Were Sleeping.
No, that's true. That's true.
I think he was. Was he support or was he a main?
He was the second. He was the second. Was he? He was the second male lead. Yeah. But I don't know. I think everyone was paying attention to Jung Hae-in in that show. So.
Right? Yeah, they're like, all right, wait, we can't make Jung Hae-in the bad guy now. Hard pivot.
But yeah, no, I love them together.
I do. I love them together.
Yeah.
So much. So this show's just fun. The editing in this show is so amazing. I love all their creative weirdness. That silent film explaining their relationship was amazing. Yes.
I love that they're having so much fun with these flashbacks, that with the double, the screen, like she's it's a memory, or the black and white silent film. It's adorable.
I love it so much. And I love the fact that our ladies are so freaking strong and badass that it's just not even a question. They just are. And I just love it so much. And Kim Ji-young, who's playing Hwang Mi-soon, she's my favorite. Like, she's the most Ahjumma of the Ahjumma spies. But I love the fact that she's like, fine, I can't come through the front door. I will go through the back. I know. And bust everything up.
She knocks out the guy, and then she's in the kitchen, and then she's like chopping everything, like
making the most amazing fruit plate ever.
It's just visually so they're having so much fun with it. Like and when the two of them, when she and Chae Kang-hee at the go in to the dark warehouse for the rescue, it was so
loved it. And they were fighting, and then they went back to back, and like
I just felt like 3 was a little slow, like they were still laying groundwork, but then 4 was just so much fun. Young's,
I thought, like, she's, God bless, like, we knew she was going to be she was going to have a challenging road to field work, actually. But that dog just sitting on the little idols thing with the baby, just super still. Like, I don't know, it just cracked me up. I literally laughed out loud.
And now that he has a traumatic brain injury, I'm sure he's going to wake up and like just be in love with her.
In love with her completely. Yeah, it's just such a fun show. Like,
yes,
yeah. And I just, again, like we said at the top, I don't think Lee Jung-hyuk's character is dead because he's a main role, because you don't kill him off in episode 4. But yeah, I love this whole little unit. Like, they're just a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the wild antics that will happen in the next couple of episodes. Like, I look forward to it every week.
Yeah,
for sure. Yay! Thanks, good casting. I love you. Wednesday, Thursday, hospital playlist. Go.
So much happens in all of these episodes. There are these little micro stories that happen with different characters and side characters. And so, like, after an hour and something, it's like, wow, that like a lot happened in this show. So, but all super enjoyable still. This week was even more liver transplants.
Oh, so many liver transplants.
So many liver transplants. And I guess it's because it's literally, it's like the extreme life and death. Like, no one's just in there with a broken ankle.
Right.
But and also food. There was so much food this week. There was so much eating, and just longingly looking at like Korean barbecue. I don't know what those guys were doing. There was so much food.
Delicious.
It's funny because Jami-do, she like shoves everything in her mouth really fast, and they'll just look at her and she'll be like, I have 3 older brothers.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah,
I gotta fight. I gotta fight.
I
For
had to
my
fight
plate.
if
Yeah,
I want
right?
to eat. Yeah. I have 3. But this week there are all these charming moments in the shows. There was this moment where Jo Jung-suk's character Ik-jun went up to Yoo Yeon-suk's character An Jung-won. He was like, I need $10. I need some money. I need to pay somebody back. So then they're talking. He gives him the 10,000 won, and then Jo Jung-suk's like, I need a cigarette. Give me a couple cigarettes. And so Yoo Yeon-suk gives him 4 cigarettes, and he's like, 10,000 won, 4 cigarettes. And Jo Jung-suk's like, I need a lighter. He's like, 10,000 won, 4 cigarettes, 1 lighter. And Jo Jung-suk goes, 10,000 cigarettes. I'm sorry, 10,000 won, 4 cigarettes, 1 lighter. Jessica, only child, Illinois, Chicago, da 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 da.
I saw a clip of that. I was like, that's hilarious. I love it.
And that is so typical of these shows. It's like they're this kind of collision of current and nostalgic at the same time.
That's amazing.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's just
absolutely.
like I think that's why it's so enjoyable. And it's also why where there are moments like when they're singing their song, I don't understand the cultural context of the song, but I know that it means something, and I know that people watching it for it, it brings you back to a certain era. And there's always been such music in their shows. But
do they sing a song in each episode?
Yeah. Band practice.
Band practice every episode. Okay, all right. Nice.
And this week they had Yoo Yeon-suk's mother and the hospital foundation director watching them, and she was just like, like bouncing along and like cheering for them. And Jo Jung-suk at the end is like, yes.
Please. He's a rock star all day.
Total rock star.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Oh, that's great. So fun. Yay.
Yay.
How many more episodes is it?
That was, so it's only 1 a week. And I believe that was episode 9. So there's still three to go.
So then my question is, I know they've already set up a season 2. So do they seem to be story-wise heading to at least a break or a pause or a completion of a story maybe? Or is it just going to be like, and we're done. See you in a year. You know what
I
I'm
think
saying? Like,
they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's no overarching story.
Okay.
There's no, the hospital is going to be bought out by this director. There's no, this, foundation director is going to fire them all. There's, which is interesting because with the Reply series, I recall there were a couple of like mysteries that had to be solved, that you wouldn't know until the end. But, and I don't remember Reply 1988 very well because that's the one with Park Bo-gum, because I watched it at the kind of the beginning of my K-drama watching, and I didn't really understand who people were and what was happening. I didn't get it at the time, which means I should go back and binge it. But, so yeah, I think you can, which is why you can move into a season 2. God, if they put a cliffhanger at the end of the season, I'll be like,
are we headed towards a cliffhanger of some sort? Like, no, it's just like, and it's done. Like,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Interesting.
Yeah, but so enjoyable.
Nice.
Love these 5.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah, they're amazing. I love seeing everything on Twitter every time. I do. It's great. All right, we had one new entry this week, and it was Fix You or Soul Mechanic. Yes. Soul, SOUL Mechanic. I liked it.
I only watched 1 episode. Okay. I didn't hit play until this morning.
Gotcha.
I think I was gun shy. Oh, I was totally gun shy because when I read musical theater actress, I just, had flashbacks to About Time. And I was like, if this is going to be a young actress trying to break into the musical theater world and all we do is watch her rehearsals.
Right.
But I momentarily forgot that Jung So-min, she's so lovely, but she has this deep river of, gravitas, seriousness, whatever you want to call it, heaviness, rage, rage.
Right? Yeah.
God damn you, boyfriend, cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Using me.
I actually wrote in my notes, I'm like,
me.
I don't know what this says about me, but I don't know what this says about me, but I felt deeply about the taking a bat to his car scene. Like there was something that resonated deeply within me. I was like,
you felt her.
I felt
She
her
was
a lot.
you were her.
She really, I wish it was one of those things where I was like, oh yes, I get that. Yeah, I really liked it. I'm not sure I have 12 episodes of really liking it because obviously our two main leads both have a deep, this is what cracks me up though. KOCOWA is like saying that it is a comedy and there are comedic elements, but I'm like, hey, I would call it a dramedy at best because, you know, it's got some very heavy themes going on. And so I'm not sure I have the emotional bandwidth for 12 episodes, but we'll see. We'll see. I enjoyed the first two. Everyone has a deep, dark secret that they must heal. It's a very healing. I think maybe I'm a little jaded on healing dramas right now after Piece of Your Mind, which did not a lot for me in the healing category.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is this 12 or 16? It's 12?
Yeah, I mean, so it's 16 episodes. I just don't think I'm not sure I have 16 episodes in me on it. I could be wrong. I could get halfway into it and be like, I'm all in. But yeah,
I think it depends where they go with these psychiatric cases and how they're treating them because it's like investigative psychiatrists like running to their homes to get old pictures of them. I'm like, okay, so that's K-drama land.
Right?
But
or letting your delusional patient walk around the streets of whatever, pretending to be a cop. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
With actual people out in the world.
That's a solid plan. Yeah. Like I'm just there again, back to Born Again. There are certain things where you're like, I'm just not sure this is gonna work for me.
Right.
Why this one and not Born Again? No idea. But for some reason I'm not sure this one's gonna work for me.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. This is the director from Matrimonial Chaos, which got a little, and I think that was the writing. The story got a little, didn't go anywhere in some of the later episodes until it finally wrapped up again. So like I said, it depends. Like if this becomes lots of patients different every week, you know, dealing with different, you know, conditions. I don't know, maybe.
Right.
I think anytime you deal with mental health is a good thing because there's being Asian Canadian American. I'm actually, my father's a psychiatrist. He had to leave the Philippines to practice because then, you know, the whole answer with Asian mothers is like work harder. And get through it. You know, so, there are no mental health issues.
I think it's great that they're bringing that to the forefront in storytelling. I think that's fantastic. It's just how well the storytelling. I'm sorry to say that. It's just sometimes the story you just get bogged down in like everybody's, you know, chaos, and you're just like, what's the? But this one has Tae and Ho, so I might be here all day.
Dr. Tae and Ho. Oh my god!
Please, and he's not a schmuck yet. I think unfortunately they were like he might. Oh, I think in the second episode, they were kind of like, he could possibly be a schmuck. And I'm like, damn it, Tae and Ho. But I just think I think he's adorable and he brings me joy. So yeah.
He certainly plays a doctor a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
maybe he looks good in that doctor outfit. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So I'm enjoying it. Like I will say this, I enjoyed it far more than I was expecting to enjoy it.
Me too.
Like I really was expecting to be like, whew, all right, I finished that. But I literally, when it got to the end of the first episode, I'm like, I literally, when our young mental patient as the cop went on stage, I literally gasped. I'm like, oh no, oh no. So I mean, the show definitely is giving us some things that I'm like enjoying, where you're just like, oh Jesus, oh boy, oh that's. I understand your rage, absolutely. You know, so I mean, I definitely enjoyed it far more than I was expecting to.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. So definitely next week we'll be here for it. Yay! Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Y'all asked for it. I promised I would do it, and we did. When My Love Blooms, we watched episodes 3 and 4. I'm not sure I'm going to get to 5 and 6, but you let us know. I will make the sacrifice. I am not enjoying this show. I mean, let me rephrase it. I agree with everyone out there who said 3 and 4 was better than 1 and 2. Worlds better than 1 and 2. 3 and 4 I actually got through, and I wasn't like, is this over yet? I actually was kind of like, oh, all right, cool. I just been having a hard time with their relationship. Like, it makes no sense to me. I don't understand the deep like forever love between the two of them, because their college one just seems unhealthy to begin with.
I don't know how to feel about their relationship either. It's more like you're cheering for them to be together again because his wife is so horrible. Her ex-husband is so horrible. Her father was abusive, you know, and blames her for the death of the sister and mother, I guess, too. So it's not like they belong together so much as they don't belong with the other people in their lives.
Yeah, I think that's my problem. Like, they aren't giving us enough and like these epically long flashbacks. I mean, they're adorable, but they make no sense. Like, they don't really drive our story forward. You're not giving me, I mean, it took us until, like halfway through 4 for them to officially start dating. And that's only because she had basically stalked/followed him to yet another rally that he didn't want her at. And then he saved her from something. And then all of a sudden he's like, we're dating. I'm like, wait, what? I don't understand. Like,
it was so romantic at the beach.
I guess.
I don't know.
That was romantic, but how did we get there? Why did we get there? Like,
I don't know. So the thing is with Korean melodramas, it's, I don't know. Is it the time we're in? Is it because we're, you know, in our homes in a global pandemic worrying about going outside? I don't know. Like I mentioned last week, normally I love a Korean melodrama and you just buy into all of the ridiculous relationships that cause such heartache and cause such pain. It's like, you know, she would have been crushed by like 2 of the 18 things that happen to her on a daily basis. But
like, I guess, I mean,
so much red wine or cranberry juice being
so many euphemisms for blood. Like, it's just like heartbreak and heart beating out of my chest. Like, I just am like, oh my God, like, is someone going to get stabbed by the end of this? Like, it's just ridiculous.
That's where the truck of doom comes in.
Right? Like, I don't know. I've been watching Mask, right? So that's my one big melodrama, right? I mean, I will watch almost anything for Joo Ji-hoon, right? As I've said, I'm a simple creature, people. You give me an actor I really enjoy, I'll watch them in almost anything. Like, it's ridiculous. But at least in that one, for as absurd as the setup is, which her playing the doppelganger to the woman he was gonna marry, and like, you know, I mean, all the crazy shit that happens. She was innately a good person, and they fall in love because they're in these heightened circumstances. But at least they are forced to watch each other in these heightened circumstances, and they grow to love each other, right? I mean, even with the absurd setup, I'm at least buying into the fact that this makes sense, right? That's my problem with this one. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, she's been stalking him for 2 years, basically, and he's just been letting her hang around because she was his dream. Like, I don't get it. Like, give me something to latch onto, show.
I don't know. I typically love these shows, and I'm not feeling this one. I don't know why.
If you're not feeling
it,
can you imagine where I am?
I know.
I'm just like, what is happening right now, show?
And I want to love it because I know a lot of you guys out there are really enjoying it. So,
and if you're still enjoying it, I mean, talk to me, man. Talk to us, because I mean, I'll keep watching. I don't hate it. I just don't get it. Like, you know, I guess I just need. Here's my other problem. We are in episode 4, heading into episode 5, and I get that this is the big build to figure out why
she left him.
Why she left him is a big question. Yoo Tae's character, why he became from being like this crazy leftist, you know, revolutionary to a chaebol son-in-law where you're destroying people. Like, I need you to give me more to latch onto with these stories. Like, I get that you want to hold it all in so we can have this big reveal, but I need some breadcrumbs here, show. Because you're showing me this, you know, this young kid who is, you know, upright and rallying for the underdog, and the losers are our team because they have no one else, and blah, blah, blah. And then we cut to the future, and it's like, or the present, and he's like, destroy them all. I'm like, wait, what?
I know. Yeah. So you're asking us to accept who they are.
Yeah.
And you haven't given it, like you said, no breadcrumbs as to what made that shift.
Right.
Because that's pretty extreme. And it can't just be for money. That's not enough of a reason. So to lose all of your convictions and your morals. So
right.
I don't know.
Clearly there's a subplot, for lack of a better description, that Han Jae-hyun is doing something that he started to set up against his father-in-law while he was either in prison or before he went to prison. So I don't know, was the whole marriage a big setup? Like, again, I just need some breadcrumbs, show. Like, give me something to latch onto headed into episode 5 and 6. Like, I feel like 1 and 2 gives you, in my opinion, 1 and 2 should give you all that exposition.
Yes.
3 and 4 start laying the breadcrumbs. So by the time we get to 5 and 6, we're fully engaged in what's happening. So by the time we hit that halfway point and the big episode 8 reveal happens, we're like, ooh, yeah, right. I saw that, and then you can, ride the wave in for the finale. I just don't feel like I just feel like the setup has been just rough. And how many pairs of shoes is he going to give her before we get there?
I know, she wears awfully high heels for a woman that's walking all over town. I know, he's so tall and she's so tiny that there's definitely, like a height difference. But I want to love it. I do.
Right? So do I. I love a good, wacky romance. Like, not wacky in, the crazy sense, but just kind of like those where you're like, what the fuck is happening?
I know.
Like, come on.
Yeah. It should, it's supposed to be overwrought, but
well, there's overwrought that kind of has a thread of realism to it that makes it why it becomes so satisfying, which I think why soaps are so satisfying in general.
Yeah.
Like, there's the Romeo and Juliet, there's the star-crossed lovers, there, all that crap that we all love because it's not really real. But if you give us two characters that we believe that in, and maybe that's my problem. Like, I'm having a hard time going from our young couple to our present couple.
Yeah. Hello. We'll see what happens this week.
Right? Yeah. my big note was like, everyone is a hot mess.
Yes, but it's because that's such a hallmark of these shows, right? Like, all of these things keep coming at them, and it's like, how much can you put up with? Before you crack? So I don't know. It's we're overdoing it a little bit.
I need some show. Come on. All right.
Yeah. Right.
Talk to us. Let us know where you're at after 3 and 4. I feel like you already told us because you said 3 and 4 were better. Let us know if 5 and 6 is even better than 3 and 4. I will keep watching. I don't know if Marisa will keep watching, but for some reason I'm oddly fascinated with what's going on. Like, when's it going to be revealed? I cannot promise that I will stick it out, but because we have a lot of new shows coming in May. But right now, all right, you let us know and we'll go with what you say. Okay. And then we finished Extracurricular. Cool boy. That was a show. I'm not sure what kind of show it was, but it was a show.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Once we got to Jisoo being kidnapped with those two Norabang prostitution ring thugs, literally like the physical violence, I was like, oh, that's it. We're in Quentin Tarantino, Darren Aronofsky territory. And then it all gelled for me that there is no one's getting out of this alive. No one. And that's why, as they were making their decisions, I'm like, oh, I get it. Because it's that Tarantino mold where people they make bad decisions. They make harmful decisions. Yeah. They make decisions that end up hurting themselves and the people they are attached to. Yeah. And so then it really clicked for me at that point.
Okay. Maybe that's my problem. I'm not a huge Tarantino fan. Like, the only Tarantino film I ever really enjoyed was Reservoir Dogs. I feel like that was peak Tarantino. Yeah. And again, bad choices compounded by bad choices. But
no, I felt this was really Pulp Fiction, and
I didn't enjoy Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, you see, that's what it is. Because that Mr. Lee character was Bruce Willis. Yeah. So Bruce Willis. So
Mr. Lee, Jae-min Soo, please. He was my favorite. I was so bummed out when he died. Oh my god. I didn't not enjoy it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it didn't really ring your bell though, right?
It didn't really ring my bell. And I appreciated that there were consequences for what they did. We didn't gloss over the fact that there were consequences. So that was good. I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed that it was really almost just a drama about survival. Like what you will do to survive regardless. Like who are you throwing under the bus? Who are you taking with you? Like what is survival? Like I appreciated the themes. I just ran into, I don't know, man, I didn't dislike it. It wasn't like, I didn't love it. I didn't dislike it.
I mean, well, yeah, because it's dark and seamy, and these are amoral characters. Even the ones that you're cheering for are heroes. Right. They are, again, making selfish, bad decisions, and you can't explain it away because they were raised by manipulative parents who just, but it's really not about that. It's not, I mean, for me, it wasn't kind of rooting it. It was not rooted in trying to explain why these characters do what they do. It's just that you've built this world where these kids and these adults are selfish.
Oh yeah.
And, can harm somebody else all in the name of their own survival. So
which I thought was fascinating. Maybe for me it was just there were two moments / characters that I just was like, this is where I'm running into a problem. One, Kwak Ji-tae was the worst character ever. Like he was a big bully, but I didn't understand the boyfriend. I didn't understand how he took his bully status and suddenly thought that he was a big enough badass to go and overrun a gang of Noribang pimps. Right. I thought that was a little bit like, I'm like, you're in high school. Like, I get it that you're top dog in a high school, but I thought it was a great scene and I loved the whole scene. Structurally, it just was confusing for me because like, the other thing is like, he knew that Minnie was doing compensated, dating, which whatever you want. I guess that's a softer way of calling it. But then he was like, so he knew she was doing it, and that's how he was getting all of his things paid for. But then he kind of outs himself and her by attacking this Noribang, and as a character, I was just like, I don't understand you. Like you're just doing things to be awful for no apparent reason. Like there was no motivation behind it.
Oh yeah. Well, for me, he was just this hothead, angry, violent kid, and this unleashed the violence that. I mean, he's the school bully, right?
Right.
And this allowed him to be even more of a dick, to put it bluntly. Yeah. And so, because you could see the glee in his eye when he was stabbing Jisoo at the end there. Yeah. And where did he go?
Exactly. Where did he go? And then only other, so I kind of get that, but I hated him so much that it really bothered me that that's how Jisoo kind of went out, but he didn't. We all know that. Yeah. But I was kind of like, I would rather have Minnie stab him, or anyone else. But I was like, Christ, damn it.
No.
And then the one point where the show kind of didn't lose me because I still watched it and I'm still gonna check out season 2. Was when Jisoo let Minhee bathe. Well, first and foremost, as soon as they were standing on the concrete steps, I was like, well, someone's going down.
It's like, wait for it. It's coming.
Just wait for it. When are we going to fight over the phone or something? Someone's going down. Like it's happening. And so when he left her there, just bleeding out, I was like, I mean, he risked his whole enterprise before it all went to shit to save her from a situation earlier. And so to see him get to the point where he didn't even call 911 after he stole her phone, I was kind of like,
I know. I think the poor kid was just so lost by that point.
Know.
So,
I
really enjoyed it.
I know. I wanted to. I wanted to, Marisa. I really did.
Because I have not seen anything this edgy in a K-drama. Yeah. Ever,
well,
maybe?
That's the thing I'm loving about Netflix. Like Netflix doesn't force is the wrong word. but I feel like the shows that we've seen that are Netflix originals, not the ones that have been basically being distributed from the actual networks and like the cable networks and whatnot, but the actual Netflix original, which is Kingdom. I haven't watched Love Alarm, but people seem to really enjoy that. And now this one, actually, I find that there's an edge to them that they don't feel the need to fall into all the old tropes. You know, our girl Beguri, she got to be as conflicted and as like disconnected as she was, and that power move at the end with her mom, oh my god, it was amazing, right? So like
when you
like,
saw her in that tracksuit and with her hair dyed, you're like, oh, something's coming. What is it gonna be?
So I love that about Netflix, that you get to have the performances of these characters to be more realistic. So, you know, like Chae-Min Soo being the heavy. Like you had kind of this tragic backstory, but you didn't have like this, 4 episodes of, what their relationship was. Like, I don't know. Like I'm really enjoying the Netflix model for sure.
Yes. There doesn't have to be a balance of the dark side. I guess the OCN shows are probably the darkest ones we see, but they're either like all in this supernatural evil world,
right?
Or if you have someone so dark, you have to have somebody who's morally the moral center. Whereas the show, it's their own moral code that has everything to do with, this underworld. It's a different it's a different morality, right? And you can do that on a Netflix show.
Yeah, you can. And I think the same thing kind of goes with Kingdom. Like, way Kingdom season 1 ended and then Kingdom season 2 ended. Like, there's not a moral code per se, but like it had like this realism to it that like, say like Rampant, even though it was a movie, like just did not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's just something about the stuff I've seen on Netflix that gives it a little bit more of the gravitas. Is that the right word?
Yeah, I think so. Because then you can have characters like this really kind of wonderful relationship between our protector thug Chae-Min Soo, who played Mr. Lee, and our young compensated dater, Minnie. I thought her performance, like, she went from this bratty, shopaholic, who, was just trying to earn money, to absolutely devastated by the end of the series and then possibly dead. So it's just this like arc that her character went through. I guess she's probably one of the most accomplished actresses. I think she's young, but she's been acting for like 15 years or something.
She was amazing.
She was
an amazing performance. I will say that I kind of going back to those like loose morals, not being the right word, but like the loose parameters of what's wrong and what's right. I found that I would have enjoyed maybe that was what was a little bit jarring for me when he left her there, when Jisoo left her, OG left her there for dead on the steps, is that I wish we could have explored a little bit more of like, it's not like he forced her into prostitution.
No.
He was just kind of managed it.
Yeah.
Like I think she was there. Choices.
Yeah. She was there before him, I think.
Yeah. And so I just, but she was so angry at him for like forcing her to do that. Like, I feel like we could have explored a little bit more of what it was, why, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess maybe I just want a little bit more there.
No, I would agree.
There's a little more there.
A lot happened in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, because I literally was like writing in my notes, I'm like, this is over in 12 minutes. They better, how are we going to wrap this up in 12? I'm like, and then they Kwak Ji-tae stabbed him, like, oh, that's how we're doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. They didn't even really have much of a conversation.
No.
It was just like scissors, boom. So yeah, and seeing, it was really interesting to see our main lead, Park Ji-yeon, who played Bae Guri, go from Piece of Your Mind to this. Because this role was intense. And another one, it's like the anger that she had been suppressing all of her life with her horrible parents. It's like she's like this master manipulator. So good at lying.
So good at it. Like I wrote that half a dozen times in my notes. Like she can manipulate the pants off people, man. Like whoa. Like it was. She's not learned some great life lessons living with those parents that translated very well for the underworld of weird business for sure. Right?
Yes. Yeah. And then we have our main lead, Oh Ji-soo, played by Kim Dong-hee. Another one. So his 3 shows, Sky Castle, Itaewon Class, and Extracurricular. Holy Lord.
Right?
God.
Yeah. Like he was a great actor. Like he's a real, I enjoyed him so much more here. Yeah. Right. I enjoyed him so much more here than I did in the entirety of Itaewon Class.
Yes.
I'll just leave that aside. But my point being is he just was so good in this that I was there for him every step of the way until he left her for bleeding out on the steps. I was like, Jisoo, what are you doing?
I know.
At least call 911. Come on.
I know. Because he was the most, but that's the thing. His empathy coupled with his desire to keep this business going, the way he manipulated the K-pop trainee into taking the date was like really masterful.
It was masterful.
I know, because Giri was just going to hammer him into it, but she watched him. She was like, "Oh my God, he did it!" But I'm like, "Why are you cheering for this?" But there we are.
No, it was amazing. And then I mean, just because we're talking about the show as a whole, there's a lot to talk about. But I mean, and then the big bad, like the little squirrely guy. Like what is his name?
Daeol, Im Ki-young.
Im Ki-young. What was that? Like I don't even understand. Like, I feel like his wife. Like I feel like I should have a long Virginia Slims and just like shake my head because I don't understand him at all.
I know. He's such a. I mean, he's squirrely, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Like and nuts.
Yeah, like he's playing this game of being this, overlord of this underworld, but he doesn't know what he's doing
at all,
and ends up dead.
So I will say, it was deeply satisfying watching him get the crap kicked out of him by Mr. Lee. It was. I don't know why. It just really was.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was just weird. It was a weird show for me. Like I mean. I like a good anti-hero. I do.
Yeah. No, but if you're not a Tarantino fan, then I can see why this is just not sitting so well with you. But this, I definitely.
I mean, I'll watch season 2 for sure because I'm intrigued enough to see where they're going to take this story.
So I know all over the internet we're shouting for season 2, but I haven't seen any announcements as of
neither have
today.
But I feel
it's gotta be, right?
There's gotta be, right? Like I feel like it was set up for a season 2. It wasn't set up for just one season because that makes no sense.
No.
All right. And then I just have to give a quick shout out to our homeroom teacher, Jo Jin-woo. I love that. I loved our homeroom teacher.
Yeah.
So much. He was the voice of reason. I'm not gonna lie, I kept waiting for him to be like a client. And he's super creepy. I mean, he didn't. He loved those kids, and I did appreciate that. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy it. Where unfortunately, Kim Yo Jin's police officer character, like she was kind of pointless. As much as I really wanted to back it, it just was.
Yeah, we always enjoy seeing her, so it's kind of disappointing that her cop wasn't quite
copying her.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was bizarre. It was a little strange. Mm-hmm. But all right, extracurricular. You got us. I will say that. Yeah. We originally were like, not going to watch it. And then
I know, because we thought it was high school. It was high school.
It was dark, crazy. You barely get out of live high school.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. And we hit the halfway point on the King Eternal Monarch. Yay!
I'm confused.
Yes.
I have two points of confusion.
Sure.
One is that we haven't seen the uncle story and the whole kingdom takeover.
Nope.
characters in so long,
right?
That now that in episode 8 they started addressing it again, I had kind of completely forgotten what this plot line is. Like our favorite, So Jung-yeon, I literally cannot remember whose mother she is. Oh, I guess she's the king's mother. I
do remember that she is the king's mother.
So, because for a minute I thought she was, because it was so long ago, and we've only been seeing the uncle for like one scene, and now things are ramping up, and now Kim Kyung-nam's character they revealed was a kid in the Kingdom of Korea. Now he's here, so I'm just like, I've lost the plot because it was barely touched on in all the episodes leading up to this from episode 1, and I'm lost.
Yeah,
and then the other. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No, please.
The other thing I'm really confused about is the relationship between Egon and what is her name? Jung Tae. Because where did the Sarang Hae come from?
Oh my God! I wrote that. Wait, what?
This is like the least romantic. I love you. I've seen it in a K-drama. I'm like, where?
Wait, what?
What happened?
What?
It's like a couple weeks ago you were like this.
Did I miss 4 episodes of something that? Yeah.
Because a couple weeks ago you said this relationship wasn't earned.
It's not,
and this love is not earned. And so then there was an "I love you" in the middle of this very weird conversation. And then he gets in the car and drives off. I'm like.
Yeah.
What? I had to rewatch it. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah. And like, there's just like this weird voiceover that's supposed to explain it all for us. Like, I'm like, show, come on.
Yeah.
Like, what did we love about Descendants of the Sun? I love that they were working together. They ended up in IRK together. And so they were forced to work together and they already liked each other. And so that's why it worked. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Why did you guys like Goblin? Why? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But, she could call him. And so she always would call him. And so they had a relationship that was built up. And then you've got, and then our secondary couples.
Yeah.
You got secondary leads where they had history together. So there was that stuff to pull from. It makes no sense, Maurice. I don't understand it.
I know. I'm just so confused because on top of not understanding where the characters are going, I'm not understanding the plot, and I'm not understanding why they're all in this soup together.
Right. So
I'm so disappointed.
To go with what you just said, this is where I'm at with the show. You're absolutely right. They have wasted an amazing villain in Ian. Wasted. He's amazing as a villain.
Where are you?
Like, where are you? And what is happening? And who keeps going to the bookstore and dropping shit in books? And how does it get from one bookstore to the other bookstore? Well, how does this portal work exactly?
Is that what happens? There are two. I didn't understand where the bookstores were.
But I don't know.
But the pictures are appearing in.
I don't know if they're appearing in like simultaneous books or if someone has to take the pictures out of one book and move them to the other book. I don't understand.
I know, in the newspapers and
and why are they sending him the prime minister? Like, why does the prime minister need to know about this portal? Why? Like, why? Show we're in episode 8, and the big reveal is that Kyung Nam's character is from the other thing. We figured that out 2 episodes ago. Like, anybody who had a theory had figured that out. All of us are like, called it. Everybody on Twitter is like, called that. Totally knew it. Called it. Like, we fucking knew, show. Like, that's not new information. He's the only other character you focused on. Of course he had a key part to play.
Right. And we actually got some sort of relationship with a parent and backstory and teenage thing with him.
Right. And then with Egon and Jung Tae, they're adorable together. Like, they have great chemistry.
Right.
Like,
there's nothing
they didn't
to chew on.
There's nothing to chew on. Like, this script is a hot mess. And I will die on that hill. It's a hot mess of a script. It's got amazing people doing the best they can do with what they are given, which I think is the only reason I'm still here after 8 episodes. Like, they are working hard to sell this shit. Because it just doesn't track.
Yeah. There's it's really dull. I'm finding it to be really dull and very beautiful.
Oh, gorgeous.
But really dull.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. And I think, because there's things happening, but there's no story. The story's not compelling us. Like, we're not invested in it. And so there's no actual tension. in these what are supposed to be tense moments or tense relationships.
That's exactly what it is. I'm not tense at all about any of it. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like I care to some extent because I like the characters and I like the actors playing them. So I'm like, oh, I hope that works out. But like, they've dropped enough anvils to know that at some point we're going to close the portal and all of our lovers are going to be on the opposite sides of them. However, and right now we only have 2 lovers. I think they're definitely now finally setting up Udawong's character with the sister barista. Yeah, the Sarisa. Yeah. And so that's kind of finally happening, but I'm not sure. Like, but there's no story that, but we know our cop and our king lovers are going to be trapped on other sides of the portal. And episode 16 is going to be how he figures out to get through it again. Like we know this. Like I can tell you that right now. Am I wrong? No, we watched enough of Kim Un-suk's shows. We know how this is going to
I don't know. It's like when Luna finally appeared, I'm like, oh, okay, finally. Like the tease before that she appeared, I was like, oh, this is finally going to kick into gear because she's going to be this tough badass.
Yeah.
And it was like flat.
I mean, she was a tough badass, but she didn't do anything.
I know. She just had a conversation with a kid and beat up some guy in an ice cream shop.
Right.
And
just confused the prime minister.
Oh, right.
And then the prime minister, like, what is her purpose in this story?
I really don't know.
Which bums me out because I love her. I love Jung Eun-chae.
I love them all.
I love them all. Our top 6 are amazing. It's just the only character that I am deeply invested in is Kim Kyung-nam. He breaks my heart anytime he has to deal with his mother. I'm like, oh, pumpkin.
I mean, this goes beyond not understanding what's happening. It's like this storyline is just, or multiple storylines are just not.
It's just not gelling for me. It's just not gelling at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at episode 8. I'm gonna finish it obviously, but I just, oh man, how do you get to episode 8 on this show and still not have really set up what is the end game here? Like, why is the uncle moving people from the Kingdom of Korea to the Republic of Korea, and under what criteria does he choose them?
No idea.
So I feel like that's big.
Yeah.
Right?
I was just trying to look up what the ratings are on, like if they got better, because they dropped from the first couple episodes.
And I feel like they started building back up. I think they're in the mid-range. They're not like bombing hideously, but it's not your standard Kim Un-suk ratings. I think according to her usual ratings, I think they're bad. But for an average SBS show, I think they're doing okay. I think Hyena did better overall.
That's the thing. It's like you're barely at 10 or 11% when they should be like, this should be at like at 18 or 20% if I can recall what her other shows are at. But
I feel like she should definitely be in the high teens. I don't know. 20's high. Like 20 is where right? Like 20 is like you are crushing it. And that's like where most Camellia. Of hers have been, but that's Camellia and Where the Marrieds, World of the Marrieds, which is JTBC. So I'm not sure how that must be crazy good.
It must be crazy good because that's cable. This is on.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
SBS.
SBS.
Yeah.
So Hyena. For a network, this should have much higher ratings. And the thing is, so Hyena was getting these ratings with like a fraction of this budget. I mean, this was ambitious. This was go big or go home. And
so I don't know, guys. Maybe if you've got other thoughts out there and you've figured out what the story is, and I have missed, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I might have glazed over at some point in the story because I just wasn't paying attention. So if we have missed a key plot point that we should go back and review, let us know. But
you know what it is? Some of these big plot points are Lee Min-ho just plucking them out of the air.
Yeah. Oh,
he must have gone through the portal when blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
and maybe
you're
that's
very smart.
Maybe that's it. Maybe, I mean, I really am. I like Lee Min-ho. I like him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe that's my problem with this character is that he's always right. He's always the smartest one there. Like, he always just miraculously figures something out. It's like,
okay. Sure.
Anyway, show. I Want to Love You.
I know.
I feel like I've said that a lot this show. I want to love a lot of shows. I just don't. But the pretty keeps me coming back. And Kim no. I love her. So I don't think
Udo Hwan.
Udo Hwan.
We need to talk about him a little more, huh?
We do, which I think is
Should
a
we
perfect
do that?
segue, Marisa. Segue to our new segment, Top 3 Moments / Performances of the Week. Oh no! Our first favorite performance this week, I have to go with, because I love a good comedy. A good comedy actress is my favorite thing, and my favorite this week has to be Kim Ji-young over in Good Casting, who is playing the Ahjumma spy, Ji Mi-sun, or her spy name, Hwa Mi-soon. Love her so much.
Love her. And as an actress, she's a 45-year-old woman.
Yeah,
and
she's amazing.
She is amazing. Don't know why they did the fat jokes.
No.
Can't believe that you think that this woman is fat. But it's that's like, other than that, love seeing her. Love that she is such a badass. Love that she's like good with a weapon.
Right.
Take down the bad guys.
Yeah.
She's also great knife skills in the kitchen. Yeah. But to see these 3 women but with her in this super comedic role,
I love it.
Much fun.
And I love that she's comedic in a way that she's not the butt of the jokes, even though the one in the being trapped was. But I feel like even then it was, I thought she played it so well that you still, you felt sorry for her and you didn't just like laugh at her. And that's why I think she's brilliant. She's such a good actress and she's so freaking funny. And she can turn from, like you said, she can turn from being kind of ridiculous as a mom to all of a sudden being a badass spy. And she's amazing. And that's why she gets one of us spots this week. Cause I love her so much. From a babushka to like, full rocking it and kicking ass and taking names. I love her so much this week. All right, excellent. And number 2.
From Extracurricular, I thought the entire lead cast was so good, but we are calling out Jung Da-bin, who played Minnie, and Chae Min-soo, who played Mr. Lee. Their relationship as kind of protector and surrogate daughter was so well done from kind of beginning, like from episode 1 all the way through episode 10, because it was just heartbreaking how they tried to like just help each other by the end. It was so good.
I loved it. It was probably my favorite relationship in the show because it was so subtle but so fleshed out that
because she went from this like teenager with a vaping habit and all sorts of addiction problems, addicted to earning the money, addicted to that lifestyle for whatever reason, addicted to her asshole boyfriend, to just crushed by the end, and just her love for Mr. Lee. So he kind of had this odd serenity through this entire series. He'll just like quietly come up and kick your ass, if you do something wrong. Yeah. He was just so good.
And also with that, I loved how gentle he was with her. Like he recognized that it was time for her to quit. Like he was like, I'm not making any judgments, but clearly you're having what is called a panic attack. And that is why you need to go. And I love that he was still like, he didn't really give her a hard time about that. And I loved them so much. It was my favorite part of the whole show. For sure.
Those two, their relationship was so good, which makes it even more tragic at the end.
Right?
So, yeah.
Like, oh, not Mr. Lee. But number one,
this week,
this week, favorite performance, bar none, Udo Hwan playing not one, but 2 characters in the King Eternal Monarch. He was so good. I mean, we saw him doing the dual roles separately for Lord knows 8 episodes or like 7 episodes, right?
So
when they finally met,
like it was great.
It was
so great, and that because the characters are so different, and in this show where our 2 worlds are very different from each other,
right?
But it was really well shot. It was really well done. And there's conflict between them. But then when our Prince's security detail flips and does like imitates himself. It was just
and maybe it's possible that it was our favorite this week because he's been given so little to do that to finally see him actually using all of those acting muscles in one space, it was just such a delight. I felt so starved for it because he's such a talented actor. But I totally believe the two separate versions of that character. And I love it.
I mean, we've said this for like 3 weeks now that he's underutilized. So it was really fun to see him, the fish out of water character, having him appear in this, the Republic of Korea, and finally, but it's, ridiculousness aside. It was fun to watch him as the two characters at the same time. Right. It was great.
It was great. So, Uduwan, you are our favorite performance of the week. Yay! All right, you guys, that's it. That's our new little segment. What do you think? Let us know. It's kind of fun. Yeah. We get to talk a little bit, gush a little bit more when we want to. Right. All right, guys. So that's it. That is our week, and we will see you next week. We're the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa, and you. Thank you for being a part of this K-drama chat. We love hearing from you. So tell us below, subscribe, do all of that good stuff.
Do all that good stuff, and we appreciate you. And if you want to see some of the other things that we're really excited about coming up in May, because the May lineup is about to hit, you can go ahead and check it out right here. Yeah. Why am I so bad at this every week? I'm going to finally figure out how to do it, and then we're going to be back outside.
I know.
All right, you guys. Bye.